Ahoy everyone, I'm no one, but before we start, warning. What follows are very uninformed takes regarding both history and economics. I know next to nothing about economics besides the fact that I have about 250 in my wallet, but when the need comes, I will somehow have enough money for a bottle of vodka. So I guess you could say I have passed Slav Economics 101, but that's about it. I'm just gonna say it. Stupid things are fun, even more than expensive or great things. This applies to buildings, gadgets, and your mom. Frankly, we don't build enough stupid things, which might be mighty expensive, but they arguably pay their value back in tourism and just being fun as fuck. Here's an assorted list of stupid buildings to hopefully convince you that we should build more of them. Since we already live in the clown world, we might as well look the part. Wonderworks. Spoiler, this one wasn't built in Australia. And yes, it is upside down. I'll give you 5 seconds to guess where in America this one was built. Of course it's Florida. It had to be Florida. The Florida man was in a very special mood designing this one. And it sure sticks in memory, about as well as any Florida man's news article. Gundam statue. The Japanese have a couple moods. It's either work myself to death, eat everything in the sea, or go absolutely silly. This statue of a robot from an anime about robots in space isn't that special. In fact, it isn't even the first one they built. Yes, the Japanese didn't build one life-size robot, but two. If you ask me, I don't believe these are statues. I think they are actual robots, and the first one was simply lost in battle fighting some sort of a monster and simply had to be replaced. The Apollo program. I know that the Apollo program wasn't a building, but it was a building project, and they built some rockets, so it counts for me. Depending on how you look at it, the USA spent billions of dollars just to send a couple of white guys to have a jolly walk on the moon and maybe play a round of golf there. Damn, that's got to be the most 60s thing ever. Hey, look at the bright side. At least they designed some dope ICBMs in the process. Now, many people have criticized the Apollo program for wasting money. Of course, it would have been spent on some social programs or just wasted on some corruption. But nah, to the moon. Americans in the 60s on their way to make some dope nuke-delivered devices, just to have the ability to drop them on anyone on the planet, and maybe beyond, have inspired a whole generation, perhaps even the whole world, that impossible is possible. Also, they dunked on the Russians so hard, their country fell apart. Back then, every child wanted to be an astronaut. Now kids want to be YouTubers. Sky Tower. There is basically only one skyscraper in this part of Poland. Wouldn't you go out of your way just to see the only skyscraper in this area? You probably wouldn't. You wouldn't go to Poland of all places just to see a building. But would you go if I told you that it looks like a cock and balls? Behold, the Dick Tower in this city. I would read the name, but that won't help you. Just copy it from the description. God knows Polish are only using this language just to save money on encryption, by not needing any. So what are the quirks and features of the Dick Tower? You can go to the shopping mall at its base and pretend to be a sperm cell or a drop of piss, depending on your opinion on what is stored in the balls. Personally, I was Team Calm, but Team Piss is making some good arguments. You can also go up the shaft and have a look around, while fighting that deep primal desire in your soul to jump and end it all. Eiffel Tower. No, we talked about a tower. Now is the time to talk about the tower. One day some dickhead decided, hey, let's waste a ton of steel, which is extremely expensive these days to build a big fuck off tower. And then everybody said, this is fucking stupid. And guess what? They fucking built it. In all of its 300 meters stupid glory. One day I'm gonna make a video just about French people. They sure are a different breed. Yes sir, we have produced the required 7,300 tons of steel. What are you going to use it for? Rifles? Battleships? Some top secret project I'm not allowed to know about? We're gonna build a big fuck off tower in the middle of Paris. Are you serious? Yes! Please, sir, at least make razors out of all this steel. That'd be better use for it. No! And then they built the big fuck off tower that was as mighty as it was mighty stupid. It was so stupid, in fact, that they wanted to tear it down. You know, to use it for something useful like rifles, battleships or razor blades. But then it was saved by being turned into a radio tower, and now some of you have keychains of this stupid tower in your pockets. Some of you want to go to Paris, and the rest of you probably already went there and regret it. Stupid has a pulling force, something like gravity. It attracts people, and that's the first fundamental law of social media. Notre Dame. Now imagine, you're a poor, starving beggar in the Middle Ages. All your thoughts are that you're either cold or hungry, likely both, and then they build this fucking thing. Notre Dame and all the fancy churches have and always will be criticized for arguably wasting money that could be used for charity. And they are right. But did I mention this was built in the Middle Ages? No amount of charity could last this long, and arguably it has done more towards spreading the belief in God than any mission ever. Picture being just a simple farmer entering this church. You've seen a proper window of glass maybe 3 times in your life and you can still barely wrap your mind around the concept. You come in and not only do they have windows, they also have pictures on the windows. When I was 6 and you showed me the modern smartphone and told me that it's a device to talk to God, hell, I would believe you, so it isn't hard to imagine that a church of this magnitude would do the same for the dark masses of the Middle Ages. Huge, impractical, ridiculously expensive and stupid, but also beautiful. Leaning Tower of Pisa. Naturally, there isn't enough money around to build hundreds of gigantic churches everywhere. That's not an issue. The thing doesn't need to be huge or super expensive in order to be stupid, although that helps. A thing can be perfectly reasonable and still be stupid. You might ask, how is that possible? Well, all you need to do is just fuck up. Case in point, the Leaning Tower of Pisa. While it is stupid because it was only made to house a bell for the church right besides it, seems like churches excel at doing silly stuff and also doing children. It wouldn't be very remarkable if it wasn't for the fact that they messed up the foundation and it started to tilt, and that's it. One fuck up made it remarkable, and now everybody comes there to pretend to hold it up or to pretend that it's their dick. Conclusion: just try out whatever you like, and in the end, even if you fail, it might be stupid enough that it becomes remarkable on its own. Las Vegas. One day, some motherfuckers woke up and said, "We're gonna build a monument to human sin and debauchery, and make billions off of it." And then the government said, "Go ahead, have fun, and pay at least some of your taxes." I don't think I need to say more about this place. It relies on you going there, losing your life savings, and maybe fucking a hooker or two. I mean, they made shotgun weddings basically into a sport. Niagara Falls. While it might not have been built by us, it is here to prove a point. What is Niagara Falls, what it do, and where it be? Well, I have prepared an audio-visual presentation of my own to simulate the experience of this wonder of nature. Well, that's it. I just spared you the effort of going there, unless you would use going there as an excuse, just to get drunk beyond belief and gamble at the conveniently located casino nearby. Watch some water drain from rivers at 12, and watch all your savings drain into the pockets of the casino at 8. Niagara Falls serves as foreshadowing for what's going to happen to your wallet next. Mount Rushmore. Isn't nature amazing? Well, dynamite is even more amazing. I mean, people drive to South Dakota of all places, just to see 4 dead dudes that are only there because someone had a hard-on for dynamite. Here's my suggestion. Blow up more mountains. $1 billion idea. Listen, find 2 mountains, one in front of another. Do the same Mount Rushmore treatment to them. Make one look like Trump, make another one look like Biden. Place shooting galleries in front of each one, sell ammunition, and just wait and see which president gets reduced to nothing but rubble faster. People would pay good money for that. I'm not gonna tell you what this one is called. Frankly, I just want us to bask in its glory. Can you guess what they concerned themselves with in this building? Yes, it is in fact the residence of the Indian Pope. They wanted to build it in the shape of a cow, but it wasn't that practical for a building. Just kidding, they do fish. It's the National Fisheries Development Board building in India. I did not lie about the India part. I wanna see it. Frankly, that's the only building from the list I want to visit. I want to visit it so much I would expose myself to the hostile environment of India. Look, they made tiny little fins into tiny little roofs. I am telling you, modern architects are slacking. We've reached peak architecture. Everybody else is a poser. Imagine if every building was built into the shape that tells you what their business is. Now that I think about it, many houses would have to be rebuilt to look like brothels. Dumb things are usually either pretty or interesting. Thus they drive tourists and improve the area around them. They are subjects of conversation and give places some character. If we all only build things that are perfectly logical and practical, the world would be dreadfully boring. Just have a look at any communist country. Have you ever wondered why seemingly every person under communism is either an alcoholic, or at least a highly functioning alcoholic? They drink to make their boring reality have at least a little bit of flavor, even though vodka has very little of it. Thank you for watching. Do the YouTube thing, like, subscribe. I will leave you with my imperative. Build more stupid shit, stay warm, and bye.